Hey, be a squid and subscribe to my mediocrity. How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be doing the HP Omen Mindframe headset actual review. I've had this thing for about a week and a half now, and it's been an up and down experience with this headset. I gotta be honest, there's been points where I've absolutely despised this headset, and then there's been points where I'm like, wow, this has been a pretty good experience. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this review. So let me start with this. I picked these up for about $70, and they're originally about $170 to $200, so I got them for a pretty good deal on Amazon through Honey. Not sponsored by any degree, but you know, give your boy some money. Anyway, I picked these up for a decent deal, and that's where I feel like the price point should be anyway. $70 to $100 is definitely what I'm willing to pay for this headset. $200, I don't think that these are worth $200. And keep in mind, the reason I say that is because with $200 you can do a lot of things. You can build yourself, for like an extra $100 more, you can actually build yourself a decent PC that'll run most like games that'll get you into, you know, Fortnite, CSGO, that sort of situation. You can get yourself a starting point. And not to mention that there's a variety of other headsets that I imagine are more decent than this and have better quality as well as more features that make sense and isn't relying on an air conditioning gimmick to jack up the price point. I just have to be honest and tell you how it is. $200, this headset is definitely not worth $200 by any degree. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about what's wrong with this headset. First thing, 7.1 surround sound. No, just no. I don't know why, but it sounds like ass. It just sounds like genuine ass. It is not good at all. It makes me sad that it is not good. It's not bassy, it's not thick, everything just sounds washed out. Everything sounds far away. Nothing sounds good. It just sounds like ass. I would never use it under any given situation whatsoever, whether it be for gaming, for music listening, just for I don't even know what, conversational pieces. I don't know what you would ever use surround sound 7.1 for. It just does not sound good. On top of that, the laggy Omen Command Center interface is just unbearably ass. It's laggy as crap. You can't, like, your mouse will start to lag, and on top of that, the whole software just starts to lag in general. You try and change tabs between the cooling to lighting and EQ, and it just, like, it takes forever, or it just is this not seamless transition. It's just very, very laggy, and it probably this headset is old too. Like, this is not like a new thing that just came out, you know, and that software is in the same boat. How has that not been fixed? How has that not been updated? It's just been a completely abandoned project in my personal opinion, and they have no intention of fixing it whatsoever, and that software alone is annoying as fuck, especially whenever you have a feature of an equalizer within that software and you have to mess around and you're sitting there trying to move the, you know, knobs and stuff, and for whatever reason it won't move, or it lags up and down, and you have to just kind of play with it and fight with it. It's just, that's not a pleasurable experience, let alone a $200 one at that. Next thing I want to point out is the ear cooling feature. So let me take these off for a second. So where the cooling happens is up here, like right here. I have it on right now. The tip of my ear is cold. Down here, not cold at all, not even remotely. Like, it's warm. Like, the only cooling part of this feature is on your tip. Everything else is fucking just unbearably hot. And listen, the back part is where I really wanted the cooling feature to come from, because this is where things get sweaty back here, and every time I take this headset off, or realistically any headset, I feel like I need to take a shower afterwards because it just feels disgusting. How the cooling feature happens is, you see that metal plate in there? What happens is it cools that metal plate, and then it doesn't blow air into your ears. What it does is cools that metal plate, so that way it's more of ambient cooling rather than just, you know, because if it just blew air into your ears, you would be getting earaches on a regular basis, and that would be lawsuits up the wazoo. So just in case you don't necessarily understand, imagine being in a snowy climate and it's not windy outside, just the air is cold. So whereas the wind blowing onto you would be like, it's hitting you in the face, rather than the air around you is just cold. It's just cold. You know, you go outside, you don't have like a beanie or earmuffs or anything like that, and your ears are just get cold. It's not because the wind is blowing onto your ears, it's just because the air outside is cold. That's essentially how it cools your ears, but it doesn't work like that because your whole ear becomes cold. This one, it's just the tip of your ears that becomes cold, which once again, if this is going to be a selling feature or a selling point on your headset, I would expect more out of this. $200 again, and this is a half-assed feature. Next thing I want to talk about is the microphone. If you want to hear the quality of it, just rewatch my previous video on when I unboxed it. It sounds okay. It's fine. It's no replacement for any USB microphone by any degree, but it sounds okay. It's just whatever. If you want to do voiceovers and you happen to have this headset, it'll get the job done. You definitely might want to download some actual program to adjust the settings in this, so that way there's a little bit more low end to this, because this headset sounds a bit tinny and it's kind of a little meh. So if you want to fix that, download an equalizer to help with that situation. But overall, it's definitely not a replacement for a USB microphone, but it will get the job done. This is what the headset sounds like. This is unedited, no non-processed or anything like that. This is just what it sounds like. It's pretty tinny and also a little quiet, so you may have to download an equalizer to make it a little bit better, but yeah, it's whatever. And I guess the last bit is the weird RGB lighting, and this is a gimmick. Like, this is just, who cares? It's RGB. It doesn't matter. I know the whole gamer RGB meme and whatnot, but let's be realistic. This is not a selling point. To put this on a bullet in the box, it just isn't a selling point. I would pay money to not have it on here. I would pay money for this headset to be more of a quality headset than this. It just doesn't make sense to have RGB. I get it, gamers and RGB, but look at the headset. From this perspective, you're looking directly at me. Red on the side here, red up here, and then boom, like random ass colors over here. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. However, I do like the fact that there is an audio thing on the back side of this right ear cup right here, and it does control your actual PC volume as well. So if you want to go turn all the way down, you just boom, turn it down, and it actually turns down your entire PC. So that's pretty cool, but I mean, that's like the coolest part about it. Now, when we're talking about the actual, how do they sound, how do they perform? Well, I would say this is where it succeeds to a certain degree. It's very thick, low end, the bass is high as fuck. Like, it is, you get that rumble, boy. It is in there. But when you listen to songs that are like, I don't know, just realistically like vocal tunes, it becomes a little lackluster because it does not sound that pleasurable to the ears. Typically like R&B and hip hop, rock, these are the type of genres where this headphone excels at because of that bassy low end. But when it comes to just that vocal type, just you're listening to some just relaxing tunes or whatever, you're missing out on that experience with this headset. I gotta be honest. There is a lot of bass for sure, but the mids, the highs, it doesn't really excel in that area. Like, just to kind of show you what I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and just play a song, and you guys can just kind of hear for yourself how loud this is. So let's go ahead and pop this puppy on real quick. As you can hear, it's pretty damn loud, and you can kind of like hear that little bit of a bass that's kind of pumping through there. But overall, that's like the high point of the listening experience. It's definitely more of a bass type headphone. It's not one of those vocal things, even to listen to yourself back. Like when I listen to myself back on my, computer or whatever, I sound totally, normal. Everything's fine. Even on my phone when I upload videos, I sound fine. Like, I'm talking into a USB microphone. Whenever I listen to it on my headset, it makes it sound like I'm talking into a Pringles can. It is it is not a vocal thing. All right, and I think that's kind of everything I wanted to talk about. There's not much else to say. The headphones, if you can catch them on a deal for about like what I caught them for, $70 to $100, that's what I would say makes sense for this price point. But do not pay $200 for these. Do not. If you pay $200 for these, I don't know why you ever would. These are not going to cool your ears down immensely. The sound quality is, you could get this same sound quality for probably a cheaper headset that cuts the gimmicks out and doesn't, even succeed in those areas. That's the main problem I have with this headset, is that it's jacking up the price point for gimmicks that don't make a whole lot of sense. You can get different headphones that just cuts the bullshit and gets to the point of the listening experience, and probably has better intuitive software that isn't laggy garbage, and probably has decent surround sound, or at least for the most part has a better listening experience rather than this headset. So that's just kind of my thing. You're paying for this air conditioning, cooling experience with decent sound, but if you just cut that air conditioning and especially the RGB out, then I would say that makes more sense than this. It just does. It's a comfortable headset, I will say that much. It's very comfortable. The ear cups are kind of this nice little not meshy material, but I don't know what material this is, but it feels really comfortable, and it's very kind of soft on the head, so that much is nice. But overall, once again, if you can get that in another headset, then that makes more sense to buy that. Just look for a headset that has the good listening experience minus the bullshit. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.